Alright, welcome back to part 4, round 3 of game 2 of our two-person unfair card game. The player 1 now has the starting player marker, and as such, player 1 will move the action marker to the event draw step, where the starting player draws an event card first, and then the second player draws their event card. Now, the starting player moves to the city event and flips over the third Funfair City event card. These are all good because they're blue. And, of course, third card in the discard means third round. This is going to be a pirate card because of the small P in the lower right-hand corner. It says here, a trade show. Draw 2 blueprint cards. You may keep 1 or none. So, that means that we first start with the starting player, and he draws 2 blueprint cards, and he may choose to keep 1 or none. Now remember, his original strategy was to focus on maximizing money, but this is basically a free opportunity to potentially match a blueprint and earn some extra victory points at the end of the game. So he's not going to ignore this chance. Here he would need a theater and a sideshow with a bunch of specific upgrades. Here you would need any theater, any food outlet, just a bunch of... We saw this blueprint actually in the last game. We just need 1 of each type of attraction. Now, he's on his way because he's got 1 food outlet and 1 thrill ride. Here, he would need to meet a lot of special upgrade conditions, and a lot of those don't give you stars. So I think our starting player is going to go ahead, player 1 is going to go ahead and keep that blueprint handy, and then discard this one. But now this card applies to all players, so now it's the second player's turn to draw 2 blueprint cards and keep 1 or none. Now that actually is really good for this player because, remember, this player already is choosing blueprints as part of his strategy. He wants to create a lot of attractions that maximize victory points. And here he has a chance to either build 2 leisure ride and a sideshow with quality upgrades, or a thrill ride with a bunch of feature upgrades. Now he's already planning to upgrade his thrill ride with features, but that would only give him 10 points. Here, he could get a lot of points, but it costs a lot of money to do those quality upgrades. But let's compare that with his other blueprint and see if we can accomplish more than 1 blueprint at a time. No. Ooh, the monorail already needs some quality upgrades. And the monorail is a leisure ride, so he could knock both of these blueprints out almost at the same time. He's going to go ahead and keep that blueprint and discard the easy one because it's not worth enough points for him to even bother at this point. So there we have it. Both players have already done this, so we don't have to worry about that city card for the rest of the round. Now, starting player moves to the event play, and he's going to go first. Now, he's got a ton of event cards because he drew a lot in the last round, so he has to kind of decide in which order he's going to play these, which one he goes first, and so on and so forth. He's going to save the extra star ones for later. I think he's going to go ahead and build an upgrade from his hand immediately for free. Might as well do that now. Get that out of the way. So go ahead and discard that. Since it's not a pinned event, it happens immediately. And he only has... let's see here. 1, 2, 3. He had to get rid of so many cards that he could only keep 1. He's going to build this super expensive upgrade onto his thrill ride for free. That's really nice. He just saved a lot of money, and he's going to get a lot of money from those extra stars. So this is really helping his overall strategy. Alright, so he just built that from his hand for free. Now over to this player. He only has 2 event cards to choose from, but he's going to want to, play those judiciously. This one lets him get extra stars this round. This one lets him, it's a pinned event card. It means that later, when he's drawing cards from the different decks, he can keep all the cards that he draws. Or he could use this to make a competitor's staff members unavailable. I think he's going to go ahead and do this one right here, pin it, so that he can go ahead and get extra stars at the end of the game. Now, obviously, his end goal isn't money, but it sure helps to have money, because then you can buy more upgrades. So back to this player. Does he pass? No, he certainly does not. He's going to go ahead and play this event card, which means that your park scores a star total equal to its capacity, but it requires discarding another event card first. And so he's going to go ahead and discard this card here, which isn't much use to him. The one that dismisses somebody else's staff member. His opponent doesn't even have a staff member. And since he doesn't really care about the blueprint cards, and he already has 1 from that special city card, he can afford to waste this. So he's going to go ahead and just discard that, and then he can play this one, which that doesn't count as a separate event card step. action because this requires the discard of another event card. He's going to pin that right here, which means he's going to get 15 stars no matter what happens in his park this round. Alright, back to this player over here. He gets to decide whether to play or pass. He's going to go ahead and play this pinned. Well, no, he's actually going to hurt me by making all of my staff members unavailable. He's going to go ahead and discard that. That means you simply just flip them over. And that means that this cast member, the money's still on him, but his special power won't happen this round. He won't be able to accumulate another 5 coin. So that kind of hurts me, because he knows my strategy is probably money. Now we go back over here, and I have to decide whether I'm going to gain 5 coin or close one of my opponent's attractions. I know that my opponent's not going to be hurt in the long run by having a closed attraction, so I'm going to go ahead and just help myself to 5 coin right here. Now, of course, my opponent is passing because he doesn't have any more event cards to play, so it's back to me. I'm going to go ahead and pass because I'm already going to be getting a lot of stars this round. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep that for a future round along with my handy dandy blueprint. And now, since I'm the starting player, I'm going to move this marker here because both players have chosen to pass and not play any more event cards. So now, of course, we're here. But, oh, actually, wait. This player chooses to use his special power. I forgot about that. When you build showcase cards, remember, these ones we didn't have last game, they often have special powers. This one says once per event step, you can choose an upgrade from the market and put it in your hand and then pay to build any number of upgrades from your hand immediately onto this attraction or any other attraction. So, this player chooses, instead of passing, instead of playing another event card, he's going to use one of his event card turns to place a card from here into his hand. Now remember, he needs a food outlet to meet one of his blueprints. So he's going to go ahead and place this in his hand, and then of course I'm obligated to refill the market. But now he can pay before the park step even begins to build any number of, I think it says, upgrades. Oh, he has to choose an upgrade from the market, so he can't do that. But he could build a robot theme. Let's look at his blueprints and see if he actually needs a robot theme. Superior quality, feature upgrade, guest services. He's going to need a guest services upgrade. He's going to look at his hand and see if he has a guest services upgrade already. He does not. So he's going to go ahead and need to choose a guest services upgrade, which would be either restrooms or lockers. Restrooms cost less. He's going to go ahead and pick that. Okay, that, of course, would be replaced with that. And now he can pay to build upgrades onto his attractions before the official park step starts. So he's obviously going to want to pay for that, but that only costs 3 coin, and he has 12 to spend. So he's tempted to build that upgrade, which costs 10, but he also has this, which costs exactly 12, but he'd still have 7 left to build something else with. Or he could build that for 6. 6 plus 7 is a little bit more than he actually has on hand. Or he could build that guy. I think since he cares about upgrades at this point, he's going to go ahead and spend 10 coin to build that Sea Serpent Roll onto his already massive attraction right there. So that's going to be a upgrade on his thrill ride. And that cost all 12. Well, oh wait, he actually had 13, so okay, it wasn't as bad as he thought. He's going to go ahead and pay that cost. And that is his special events step. Now, both players pass, and now it's park step 1 back to this guy. He's going to want to maximize, but now he has to worry about this blueprint. He's going to need one of each type of attraction. He already has a food outlet. He needs a sideshow. And sure enough, there's a sideshow available right here. He's also going to want that leisure ride, but I think he's going to go ahead and build the freak show first, just while he's at it. Because the blueprint requires a sideshow before you get the bonus target of having a throw and a leisure ride in his park. So he's going to go ahead and pay that coinage of 6 right into the bank. And now it's this player's turn, player 2, to do something. Now he's already spent quite a bit of his money, but now he gets the benefit of these park steps to do other things. He knows the power of these green cards. Of course, we need to refill this here. But he also knows that he's going to need to start finding some quality upgrades in order to start meeting his requirements for the blueprints. So he's going to go ahead and take a look here and see how his park's doing capacity-wise. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, plus the extra 8 means that he's going to have 18 stars in his park, but he can only earn 15. He needs some extra capacity. He's going to go ahead and spend, he would like to spend the 4 so he can get that benefit of the extra stars, but it costs 4 coin and he doesn't even have that much. He doesn't want to take out an extra loan. So I think what he's going to do is going to go ahead and draw some event cards. He can accumulate a lot of event cards by the end of this round. This one lets you close an attraction in your park in order to build upgrades for half price. And this one lets you gain extra coin for each guest visiting. This one also provides protection, while this one hurts your opponent. I think he's obviously going to want to go ahead and build more upgrades for less, so he's going to keep that one for later and discard that event card. Now, on to Park Step 2. Starting player is going to want to go ahead and build one of each type of attraction. So obviously now he sets his sight on the cable car. That one costs 8 coin, and thankfully he has exactly 8 coin. He's going to go ahead and 5, 6, 7, 8. That took all of his money, and that one gets replaced. Now this player perks up because he needs those superior quality upgrades for his blueprints, and it's a good thing it's now his turn. Now, of course, the superior quality upgrades cost a lot of money. He's going to need to find event cards that let him build things for free. That's how he's probably going to get those. So he's going to go ahead and draw another 2 event cards and take a peek at what it says back here. This one lets him take an extra park step. This one is identical to what he already drew. Since he already has one of these in his hand, he's going to keep this one right here and discard that one, although it might benefit him to have several of these on hand for future rounds. Now, starting player moves to Park Step 3, and it is once again time for him to do something. Since he can't afford anything, and since he only has 1 event card, he's probably going to go ahead and want to either draw an event card or do loose change. Loose change would give him 4 coin, because he gets 1 coin for each of these. I think that's what he's going to do, because he's tempted. So he's going to go ahead and get 4 coin from the bank as loose change, which will give him a better start in the next round. Alright, there we go. And then what will this player do? Obviously, this player doesn't have much money either. He's going to go ahead and do 2 more event cards. So the next round is going to have a lot of event card being played. This one lets him search the park discard pile and choose a card, put it into his hand. This is powerful because he needs things in his hand in order to play them for free using other event cards. And obviously the thing he wants to build for free instead of having to pay for it are these superior quality upgrades for his blueprints. So he's going to go ahead and do this. Keep that instead of this one, which would just give him more stars, which equals more money. He's already got enough stars in his park as it is. He's going to be fine. Alright, back to this player. Since nobody had a pinned event card for Park Step 4, he just moves it right along to the guest step. And we don't need to worry about that because that was already taken care of. So starting player counts up his stars. Unfortunately, 2 of his staff members were made unavailable by the opponent's event card. So he just counts up the cards that are face up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 is still within his guest capacity limit, but it's a higher number than before, which is good, so he gets 10. And then here it says you also get 1 extra coin per guest step. So he gets 1 extra coin just for having this sideshow in his park. That's why you need to pay attention to these little ticket icons in the lower right-hand corner of some cards. This player over here doesn't have any special powers, but he does have that pinned event card. He gets 8 extra stars this time. So 3 plus 2 is 5, plus another 3 is 8, plus another 1 is 9, plus another 1 is 10. 10 plus 8 is 18, but even though 18 guests want to come to the park because there's 18 stars, they can only let 15 guests in. So he's going to have to just get 15 coin, and he basically loses 3 coin because he didn't have enough capacity in his park for all the guests that wanted to come. Now, one thing we forgot to do over here is that this special pinned event would let player 1 get a star total equal to his capacity. So remember, he had 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and he got 2 $5 coins each, but he actually gets 15 coin because that's his guess capacity. So it was helpful for him to have that, and it was helpful for this player to have that. They would both score more stars and more money than they would have otherwise. Now, of course, comes the cleanup step, which we already know involves discarding any pinned event cards. Those are going to go ahead into the discard pile. And then we need to go ahead and flip over back any cards that have been turned over previously. In this case, player 1 had 2 staff members who had been made unavailable. They get flipped back over, so they're active. Then we need to go ahead and clear and refill the market. Nice, it's been refilled, and player 2 is eyeing these 2 superior quality upgrades. Something might be happening here pretty soon. Alright, and then, of course, we need to go ahead and discard down to 5 cards in our hands. This player has 1, 2, 3, 4 park cards, and 3 event cards. So he's going to have to discard some stuff here pretty soon, but he doesn't discard first. It's going to be this player's turn to discard. He has 1 event card and no park cards, so he doesn't even need to even think about what to discard because he's well within his card hand limit. Unfortunately, player 2 needs to discard some stuff. He's going to need to discard 2 cards to get down to his 5 card limit. Before he worries about his event cards, it's probably a good idea to look at his park cards, see if he can discard any park cards without worrying about it. He still likes that pirate upgrade because it's expensive and he could build it for free. The junior vice president is still looking pretty good. He's going to need a guest services upgrade at some point. And man, that loop is also a pretty good deal. So he's really struggling here what to do. Let's take a moment to look at his event cards here. He's going to be able to build upgrades for half price. He's going to get an extra action. And he's going to be able to search the park discard pile for a specific card. None of those are really good to discard either. So now we need to come over and look at our blueprint cards to see what we have to keep and what we don't. Over here, he's going to need superior quality upgrades on his monorail. Well, that's why it's important that he keeps the upgrade, the card that lets him build upgrades for half price and the one that lets him search the park discard pile. This one requires quality upgrades as well. And he's going to need some feature upgrades in all of his attractions, so he'd better keep that feature card. And this one requires a guest services upgrade on a thrill ride. So he definitely is going to need that and that. But he doesn't really need the junior vice president. So he's going to go ahead and discard the junior vice president. Now he's down to just 6 cards. And even though he's tempted to keep the pirate theme, he's going to have to go ahead and discard it because it doesn't meet his blueprints. It doesn't help him at the end of the game. So he's going to go ahead and discard that. And now he's down to 3 green event cards and 2 park cards, which means he has a hand limit of 5 and he meets it. He's fine. Of course, we're now to the point where the starting player marker changes hands back to player 2, and we're going to be ready for round 4 in part 5 next video. Thank you for joining me for part 4 of this video series. We're almost halfway through our second game.